We're starting a reading vlog today, but first I need to get some Taco Bell because it is a rainy, cozy day, and nothing sounds better than getting some Taco Bell and sitting down and reading my book. So let's go do that first.
Point, which means I don't want to choose something in the same genre necessarily, but maybe I do. I don't know. Book, because I'm in my literary fiction era, I think. Okay, I'm choosing this one. I kind of have one of those too. We're like 72 pages later.
The book I'm reading right now is the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and it is so good. This is the second book in the Dream Harbor series, which the first one is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which everybody in the whole entire universe has been talking about and loves, and I loved it so much. These books are out of stock literally everywhere, and it took me 2 weeks to finally get these from Target, and I'm so excited that they finally came and I can finally read the second book. The first one, I just bought it on my Kindle because it was only 99¢, but I really wanted the physical copy for the second book. I started it last night, and as you can see, it's pretty daggone good because I read 230 pages in one sitting right before I went to bed. There's 345 pages, so I have a little over 100 pages left. I almost don't want it to end, but I love it so much, so we're gonna read some more. So this book is centering around our female main character, Hazel, who runs the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. She is about to turn 30 years old, and she's kind of having an existential crisis because she did not have your normal fun like teens and 20s time in her life. Like, she didn't have a college experience, she wasn't really adventurous, she didn't date around, like she didn't have fun, like she was boring, and she's like, my 20s are ending and now I'm about to turn 30 and I didn't have an exciting life, so I want to have adventure. And at this same time, she starts finding clues within her bookstore of somebody telling her, you need to have an adventure, follow these clues basically to have an adventure. So here enters our male main character, Noah, who has only lived in town for a few years, so he's not a local, and he is a fisherman. He runs fishing tours in the summer, and then in the winter he works at the local bar, and he is the epitome of fun. He is the hooks up with tons of girls during the summer, all the tourists that come into town, never does long-term relationships, like he is the super fun one. So she enlists him to help her have an adventure based off of all these clues. Obviously, we know where that's gonna lead because it is a romance book. So let's try and finish off these last 100 pages and see what I think of it. But of course, right now, you can already tell I am loving it and I cannot wait. There's 2 more books in the series. That one's coming out in October, so very, very soon. And then I think there's one coming out next year, so I'm super excited for those. I've just showered and bathed myself finally, so I feel so nice and cozy and squeaky clean on this rainy day. Today is just like the epitome of a cozy rainy day. I just wish my apartment was perfectly clean because it's definitely not. And that's stressing me out a little bit, but I'm still trying to embrace the cozy rainy day. I know we're gonna have a lot more of them coming with it being fall and winter, but this is the first one of the season pretty much, and it's just so cozy. I love it. Last time you saw me, I read about 3 or 4 chapters. So I'm on chapter 25, page 277. The third act breakup is kind of happening right now, I think. I know a third act breakup is necessary in a book because they can't just get together 50% of the way through and it be a happy, jolly, good time for the rest of the book. Something needs to happen in the third act to create some tension and have some conflict resolution before the very end of the book. I get that. I hate when the third act breakup is solely due to just stupid miscommunication. I hate that. I feel like the best way to do it is for it to be a third party. Like the couple is together, a third party comes in, something happens, and then they work together to overcome this thing that's happened, and then the relationship is stronger by the end. I hate when it's just stupid miscommunication, because one, how is your relationship even gonna last if you're letting this tiny littlest miscommunication blow up your whole entire relationship when you've only been together for like 2 weeks? Like, your relationship's not gonna last. So anyways, I hope that's not what's happening. I hope it's not miscommunication. I'm right at the very beginning of it, so it could go 2 ways. Let's see what they end up doing. I just finished it and it was so good, and the third act breakup was not bad. It wasn't something crazy. There was no blow up. There was just a little bit of like tension, but it was easily solved, so it wasn't super frustrating to read. The ending was just so cute and adorable, and I loved it, and I even teared up, and I cannot wait for the third book. I was thinking, if you've read the first book and the second book, if you've read this, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And none of this is really spoilers, but I thought the next book, they were setting it up to be Annie and Max, which is like kind of like an enemies to lovers. Like, they hate each other, but obviously they're gonna fall in love. I thought the next book was gonna be their book, but it's not. The next book is about a girl who moves into town because she comes into possession of the Christmas tree farm. I don't know if she bought it herself or it was like a family thing. I don't know. She comes into possession of it, but she is like anti-Christmas. She's like emo goth, wears all black, you know, and she doesn't like Christmas, but she has this Christmas tree farm. And then the brother of the main character, the female main character in the first book, Jeannie, it's her brother, is coming into town for a month over Christmas, and so it's them two. And then I think the fourth book is definitely going to be Annie and Mac. I really hope so. I haven't looked into it, but I really hope it's their book. I cannot wait to read their book. I love enemies to lovers. I love enemies to lovers. But this series is so good. It's so good. It's fluffy enough to where it's like cozy and it's not too much work to read, but it's not overly insanely cheesy like a Hallmark movie. They give a little bit more depth, and then they are a little bit spicy. It's not extremely spicy in my opinion, but to some people, if you don't like a lot of spice, this is going to be a little bit spicy. But it's so good. I love this series so much, and now I just like don't know what to read next. I don't know what to do. Now that I've finished the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, so now that I've finished that book, I don't know what to do with my life now because I don't know what to read. And I think one of the ways that I help myself not get into a reading slump is like immediately starting a new book and not taking too much of a break. Because if I take too much of a break and give myself a day or two between books, I will start to like really question what I want to read next, and I just won't pick anything. So I need to like jump immediately into something else. And I really want a fantasy book. I want a really good fantasy romance, like something that's just like, I read Heartless Hunter maybe like a month ago now, and I loved that. That was like perfect fantasy romance and like high stakes, and it was just so good, and I just want another fantasy romance. So I picked 2 from my bookshelves. I don't know which one I'm gonna read. First, I've got Dance of Thieves. I heard so many things about this like last year, I think, and there is a sequel, and I love a series. So this sounds good, but the font is honestly so small. That's so small. So I don't know if I want to get into something that long. And then I also have Powerless by Lauren Roberts, another very popular BookTok book. I've heard great things about this, so I might do this, but again, like the font is so incredibly small. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it is so small. So I don't know if that's something I want to do. Let me see if they're on Kindle actually. Let's see. If either one of them are on Kindle Unlimited, then that is what I will read. But I will not be purchasing the ebook. I don't like purchasing ebooks because if you were ever to lose your account, you've lost all the ebooks that you've bought, and I just don't want to do that. Powerless. No, I don't think it is. I have to buy it for $12.99. I already own the book. I'm not gonna do that. Dance of Thieves is not either. The French version is available on Kindle Unlimited, but that doesn't really help me much. So I don't know what to read. Leave in the comments what I should read next. Maybe I'll just let you guys pick my next read. So tell me what I should read. I want a fantasy romance. Let me know. I've actually figured it out. I'm going to read Assistant to the Villain, the one that Haley Pham was literally just reading in the vlog I was watching today. She said it was amazing, so that's what I'm going to read, and it's available on Kindle Unlimited, so win-win-win. So that's the end of this reading vlog. I will be starting up another one, don't you worry, tomorrow with Assistant to the Villain. I'll give you my update on what I read tonight and see how I like it. So I will see you next time in my next video. Bye!